time. It dictates our lives. Time at work, time with our families, a countdown to next time.
I absolutely 100% should not be here, and I know that. I've had so many doctors tell me there's no medical reason you should be alive.
Jennifer Martin remembers the exact time she was diagnosed with severe Crohn's disease, the day after her 18th birthday. With Crohn's, her immune system is attacking her digestive system.
If you get a canker sore in your mouth, it's basically that along your digestive tract.
Her days are spent in constant pain, in and out of hospitals.
Here's one of me outside, actually getting to touch the grass. This is at St. Mary's.
3 years ago, doctors removed a majority of her digestive tract. Food wouldn't pass through. She takes 30 pills a day and has to be connected to this, a TPN.
Water, potassium, magnesium.
It gives her nutrients. She can't work, so Medicaid pays for it.
You hook this up, these get hooked up together, and then this is where I get my TPN from. This is my life every day. You know, my medications are expensive. My TPN is $300 a day. It's $9,000 a month.
And who's paying for that? I mean, taxpayers.
Taxpayers, because no one can afford that.
Right.
That's for the rest of my life.
Every moment plagued by suffering, though some days are worse than others.
You're always going to have bad days, but if every day is a bad day, then it's a bad life. And I just, I can't let myself do that.
Jennifer believes there's one thing that will help.
There's been a lot of success with people being able to manage diarrhea and high outputs with medical cannabis.
In February, Jennifer and her husband went to Colorado to try medical cannabis to see if it would relieve her symptoms.
I had 2 days where I didn't have to take Imodium, I didn't have to take Lomotil, I didn't have to do opium tincture, and I had like the thickest stools I've ever had.
How was the pain?
The pain was non-existent for the first time that I can ever remember.
Jennifer and her husband decided to move, even though in 2014, lawmakers passed a limited version of marijuana legislation. Iowa's law allows you to carry cannabis oil, but only to treat epilepsy and if you get it from another state.
I can't wait anymore.
But Jennifer and Josh are not moving to Colorado. They've moved to Minnesota.
I am so hopeful and excited for the possibility of what the future holds for me.
Beginning July 1st, Jennifer will have access to medicinal cannabis in Minnesota. With boxes piled high, they've officially become residents of Minnesota. Because she has a specific chronic condition, she can take part in the state's medical cannabis program.
We're over capacity right now.
You're looking at a Minnesota state-supervised medical cannabis production facility. Local 5 was the only station from Iowa given access to the site. It's one of 2, and we saw exactly how the medicinal cannabis is grown, then transferred into medicine. For security reasons, this is all we can show you, the plants before they become medicine.
We have a rolling continuous harvest. We've been at capacity for about 3 weeks now.
This is the CEO of Minnesota Medical Solutions, Dr. Kyle Kingsley. He told me they are breaking barriers.
We're trying to get away from the industry standard and become make it a pharmaceutical process.
These leaves and plant material will not be available to patients and never be used for anyone to smoke. Only pills, liquids, and oils. They are perfectly formulated for specific symptoms. It's a very different approach than states like Colorado and California.
They're not looking to get stoned, they're looking to get symptom relief.
There are 2 main active ingredients in the plant. We're talking THC and CBD. You can see molecularly they're just about the same with a very small difference. THC is what historically gets you high, but it can also help with pain, nausea, as a sleep aid. CBD is known to have some more health benefits. It can help with inflammation, pain, and anxiety, among other things. So the scientists at the production facility are breaking down the compounds and finding different combinations to treat different illnesses. To qualify for cannabis under Minnesota's new system, the patient must live with one of 9 conditions, such as epilepsy, cancer, or Crohn's disease, like Jennifer.
It's so exciting. Oh, so exciting.
Here's how it works. This Minnesota resident has a qualifying condition. His or her doctor must certify that condition, and starting June 1st, then that patient can register with the Minnesota Department of Health. Well, the Department of Health approves the patient and adds them to the registry. Then as of July 1st, the patient can get medical cannabis at one of the 8 dispensaries in the state. Like this one that's under construction in Minneapolis. It's easier to get addictive painkillers at a pharmacy now than it will be to get medical marijuana in Minnesota.
We're gonna get there. It's gonna help, and I can get some semblance of a life back, not just an existence.
A life she says she couldn't get in Iowa. However, there is some movement of change at the Capitol. Senate File 484 is making its way through the State House. It would strike the current limited cannabis law and would allow Iowa to adopt a plan similar to Minnesota's, but there are a few differences.
It allows for 12 independent dispensary licenses where patients would get medicine, and 4 independent licenses to produce and grow the medicine.
While the Iowa plan also says no smoking allowed, it does appoint an advisory board to recommend types available to patients, and it doesn't rule out plant products because they are the cheapest to produce.
Fundamentally, we want to have the medicine be affordable for Iowa patients.
The bill passed the Senate, but Speaker of the House Craig Paulson says he won't bring it up to debate this session. Critics of the plan say it's a slippery slope, opening the door for abuse and addiction. But Dr. Kingsley says that's just not the case, especially compared to the alternative pain medications used now, like morphine.
You look at the major class of pain treatment, which is opiates, and that's much more addictive, much more dangerous, and people are routinely dying from opiates.
That's why Jennifer chooses not to take them.
I don't want to go down that road, because it's a road once you go down, few come back.
A road she's unwilling to travel when time could soon be on her side. Time she never thought she'd know.
Some hope for the future and longevity. That's what we need.